So, as a book collector and a book reader, I get asked the question, how much of my collection have I actually read at any given moment? Now, I don't like this question simply for a couple reasons. One, there's two parts of this hobby that at least I follow is book collecting and book reading. And those are two separate hobbies, in my opinion. Now, they intersect quite a bit, and with me, they do very much so. But they don't for everyone, and that's okay. I definitely encourage book reading, but book collecting can just be because you want to own the book. I didn't grow up reading much, so to me, as I read a book, even if I read it digitally, I want to buy it in a physical format, kind of like a shelf trophy, actually. But those don't always intersect with collecting and reading. Now, for me, like I said, they do. And there are books that I will always keep in my collection. I love a lot of my Dark Horse books. I love like Brubaker's Captain America. I love all those. There's some great Image comics over here. This is the vast majority of my collection. I do have a bunch upstairs too, but this is the majority of my collection and mostly the stuff that I plan to keep. But that's the thing. When people ask me how much of my collection I've actually read, at any given point, if I'm being honest, it's between 50 and 60%. Now, this is a lot of books anyways. Well, it's comics, graphic novels, but it's a lot. And what I don't like about that question is that that percentage really never changes in my collection. I always have about half of my collection that I haven't read. And that's super cool to me in that when I go to read a book and I want to read something new or different, I have a lot of genres, a lot of different publishers and characters that I can choose from that I haven't read yet. So I can pick one that fits the mood that I'm in at that point. And if a book isn't one that I want to keep for the long haul, I sell it, I get rid of it, I trade it. So a lot of my collection I've read and then I get rid of. A lot of my collection in like down here is stuff I've read or that I know that I'm going to read and probably want to keep, or that, you know, just ended up down here for maybe even aesthetic purposes. But a lot of these books are ones that I am looking forward to reading, but at this point, I'm not going to read them right now because there's something else that really draws my attention. So at any point with the flow of sales and getting stuff in, I've read, 50 to 60% of my collection, and that's okay because even if I read a bunch of books and I haven't sold any, that percentage goes up, but then I sell a bunch of the books I've read or that I've decided I'm not going to read, and then I get new books I haven't read in, so that percentage drops. And that's okay because reading is cool.